I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. It is your girl, DYANAROZAY, and we are here to do the review for Sweet 16, RHOA, episode 4. So come on in, everyone. Please and thank you. Make sure y'all hit the like button on your way in. Share the video. Become a subscriber if you are not already. What's up, Michi? Take the poll at the top of the chat. Did y'all look? I might be coming in a little blurry because there is a big storm here. So I don't know if you guys can see me well. Hopefully you can. But go ahead and put your city, your state, your country, your island, your territory into the chat so that I could say hello to you real quick. But come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you guys loving RHOA so far? What's up? Come on in, Michi. Come on in, Golden Life. What's up, Miss Mary? Welcome. What's up, Barbados? Nice to see you. Okay, cool. Listen. Yes, okay. So you like Real Housewives of Atlanta so far. Listen, everybody is getting their moment in, okay? So I'm liking it. Last night, though, I was really shocked. Really surprised at how quickly things went left with Brit. But I said to you guys from the beginning, when I reviewed episode 1, I was like, there's something wrong with Brit. She's making a mountain out of a molehill when it comes to Kenya. Come on in. What's up? What's up? She's making a mountain out of a molehill when it comes to Kenya. And I don't know. She did not come out on her social media to say anything. And right now, social media is railroading Brit. They're basically saying to Bravo Production, if you fired Kenya or you let Kenya go, you should have let Brit go too, because Brit has been out of control, or at least they found that scene to be out of control. We're going to talk about it, though. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go through everything because it was interesting. I was shocked as well. Brit has security issues. Okay, so that was a deflection. What do you mean by that was a deflection? Fifi, tell me what you meant. Brit is a fan of the show, and she was fanning out over Kenya. Good afternoon from Georgia. Welcome, Pacino. Are you getting that heavy storm? Because I am. I was debating whether I should stay on or not, but it's cool. But yeah, Brit is definitely showing all of her insecurities. I wonder if when she watches this back, because she has to watch this back like the rest of us, if she is sitting there like, bitch, am I really this awful? You are. You are, lady. Oh my goodness. What's up, New Orleans? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the chat. So listen, I'm going to just jump into it because I want to make sure, yes, a storm is storming. Yes. If you are in Georgia right now in the Atlanta area, it's damn near black outside. It's almost black outside, okay? But anyway, let's get into it, all right? So I got 60 of y'all watching. Everybody hit the like button. Make sure you take the poll on the at the top of the chat. Let me actually see how many of you guys are what y'all saying so far. So the question was, do you think that Brit wrote the question that basically started the fire between her and Kenya? And 90% of y'all said, is hell an inferno? Yes, she was the one who did it. She started the entire mess. I agree. I agree. I said the same thing. I said Brit definitely brought the torch to the fire with gasoline draws on, okay? Yeah, it was a mess. Okay, let's get to it, y'all. So the first scene picks up with Angela and Brit. They are getting to know each other. Welcome, Review Hour. Thank you for coming over and joining the party. Angela and Brit are walking through the park. They're getting to know each other a little better. Brit is pushing her doggy in a stroller, for Pete's sake. In confessional, this is a clue. In confessional, Brit says that she does not have a lot of friendships with females. She didn't even say women. She said females. I don't have a lot of friendships with females. Females are either going to love me or hate me, is what Brit says. Okay. So as soon as she said that, I was like, well, production is definitely setting the scene for the rest of the show, because you automatically are letting us know that if people don't respond to you a certain way, you don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have, especially since she is what is she? A insurance agent. So she sells insurance. You're expecting her to have a certain sort of way of dealing with people. You expect her to have some sort of gift of gab, knowing how to talk to someone. She's really beautiful. She's had all these relationships with the rich and famous. And now it has opened a whole new door on what we see. Okay. The outside is one thing, but the inside is a completely different thing. Right. So she says that in her confessional. Angela is sharing with us that her mother and sister are at war with her husband, Charles Oakley, okay? She said that the family at this point doesn't like each other. And Charles is not willing to forgive anything that her mama said, okay? So she had already told us at the beginning of the show that Charles likes a clean kitchen. It sounds like he's very, very parsnickety. Is that how it's pronounced? He likes for things to be a certain way, and there are no exceptions. So when he's in his kitchen, he wants it to be cleaned a certain way. And apparently it wasn't. So Angela's mama and Charles Oakley had it out. And I guess her mama told him how she really feels about him. Okay. And she said that this is a problem because Angela pays all of her mama's and her sister's bills. And she's not doing that with her money. She's doing it with her husband's money. So she said right now, her house is at war. At war. Who, can you believe it? Come on in, everybody. Calling women females is always a red flag. Bingo. That's the same thing I said. I said, who do you hang around where that just comes out of your mouth? You might as well say it dames or something like that, lady. But oh my goodness, I said the same thing. I was like, that's a problem. But anyway, she shares that with Brit, and then Brit tells her that she has similar problems with her sister. She said that they always call her for financial help. However, she said her sister has a problem with Mike, and she said that she believes it's because she doesn't have anyone in her life right now. Actually, she said it was because Mike interjects himself into their relationship. So she said that her sister doesn't want to have a whole lot to do with her. She has 3 sisters, I believe. She also said that she was the apple of her father's eye, which kind of sounded like she was saying her sisters have been a little jealous of her relationship with her father, and that when he passed, they kind of all broke away and did their own things. They're not as close as they used to. So it's giving me kind of Mama Braxton, like, while she's here on earth, we know that maybe the kids will talk to each other, but once she's gone, them children gonna live separate lives, okay? Let's see. That's not a big ask to keep the kitchen clean. Well, I don't think it's a big ask, but I think that he likes to see things a certain way. So if he sees a crumb or anything, he's very parsnickety. You can tell he has a way of, it's my way or the highway kind of mentality. But that's what she married. So it doesn't mean that her mama's going to deal with it, though. If I'm the sister or the mama, I don't want to deal with your husband's mess. But I also wouldn't cook in his kitchen. I would just be like, let's go out. So That's how I would handle it. Either way, she let her family get into a fight with that man, and she knows that she can't fight him. She can't fight him, so the family shouldn't be fighting him, okay? But anyway, they end up talking about, Angela said that she wanted to make amends with Shamia. She said, I'm having this party. I invited Shamia. I really want to make amends with her. They give a flashback of Shamia talking about her LaToya Jackson nose and her calling Shamia Flavor Flav. Brit says that she doesn't have any problems with Shamia. Her and Shamia are good. However, she does have a problem with Kenya. So she makes sure that she says this. This would be what? The 4th episode? We've heard her say this at least 5 or 6 times already. And we only saw her in one scene with Kenya, right? Well, maybe 2 because they were at the party. So 2 scenes with Kenya, and every single time she has talked about Kenya saying she don't like her. So again, she repeats it in this scene. Don't like Kenya. And then she said, Kenya has a reputation and she believes that they might have some of the same dealings, like because people see the outside beauty, they think a certain thing about them. And she said, I'm going to give Kenya one more chance to get it right. And if she don't, she said, that's her ass. That's what she says in the scene. Okay. Which again was giving me hater, complete hater. Could Kenya and Brit have problems or something in common? Sure. But we've never seen Kenya talk about Brit the way Brit has talked about Kenya every time she is on screen. And that's a fact. All right. So next we get to Shamia at her beautiful mansion. Fifi said that Angela is a pick-me. Give me what you mean by a pick-me. She's been married for 10 years, child. So tell me what you mean. Tell me what you mean, because some people are just stuck in their ways. When you're in a marriage and you've been in a marriage for that long, you don't always, you got to pick and choose your battles. You know what I'm saying? But she's married to an older man. I think he's much older than her. I think. But y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. He looks like he is. Mike is giving very territorial and controlling. You're talking about Brit's husband or fiance. He doesn't have a day job. Okay. Come on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's really perplexing how you'll have animosity with people you don't know. Brit is too much. Good point. Because I said, when I was watching it, I said, Brit is giving me YouTubers. Brit is giving me YouTube with some of the CCs and then some of the subscribers. You don't know these people for real, but sometimes people have a whole lot of emotion that they carry with people or against people. And you be sitting there like, oh my God, you can see people spazzing out and it makes you feel bad because you know it's crazy. It's simply crazy, okay? Come on in. What's up, Chronic? Thank you for helping out. Anybody that you see with a wrench behind their name, they are volunteering their time as a moderator for the channel, okay? So just follow their instruction. I don't mind your opinions. I really don't. Just don't get into it with anybody in my chat or have any crazy stuff with me. But she definitely has an issue, okay? So let's move on. I said we was at Shamia in her mansion. Shamia invites her sister over to listen to her new single. So they are out by the pool drinking champagne. Shamia is running down all of the musical groups she's ever been in. She was like, I just haven't been able to, make it hit. But now that I'm on this TV show, I'm going to make it do what it do. Okay. She's taking advantage of all the things. Anyway, I think there is a neighbor over yonder cutting the grass. And Shamia's like, why are they out there cutting the grass now? Like she got upset. Shamia's letting her the money bag show. Okay. She said, why are they out there cutting the grass now? She also made the comment that maybe she should just buy the house. She said, maybe I should just buy the house next door so that I don't have to hear all that noise. Baby, I was like, what a way to throw around the money, baby. Anyway, after she says all that, she says that she has been invited to Angela Oakley's party. And she said she's real surprised that she got an invite because if Angela would have said the shit that Shamia said to her. She said she wouldn't have got an invite from me. And after that, it was all jokes, okay? Shamia said that she was cracking jokes on her, on Angela, like she was a smooth criminal, okay? But we know that that is a Michael Jackson song. Then she said, how in the hell is she going to moonwalk her way out of all the jokes that she's been making about that LaToya Jackson nose? But she did it again, okay? Anyway, she started singing, "Your nose is mine." She was doing the whole nine. So again, she wants us to know. A lot of people would get mad at this kind of stuff, but she definitely wants us to know. I'm going to try to be nice with this woman, but I don't like her. I don't like her. She's still going to get these jokes in confessional or with my family or friends or wherever. So right now, Angela is being rat-a-tat-tat all about the face, head, and shoulders when she's watching these scenes back, because Angela isn't doing the same shit to Shamia that Shamia's doing to her right now. Okay? She's slick, and I don't mind it at all. I'm just saying she's slick. Sometimes people get, attacked for that. There's two ways to come at people. You can be loud and be like, pop, 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 or you can just do your shit all around about town, which is exactly what Shamia is doing. Okay. But anyway, after she does all that, we get to Porsha. Now, in this scene, this was also about Porsha shows up to an office space with a marquee on the outside of the building that says "Pampered by Porsha." There's about 4 people inside the office space. One person I recognize as her cousin. The other one she introduced as her best friend, Johnny. I guess he has some ties in the music industry and marketing and other things, okay? But she is letting everybody knows that her dreams of living a soft life is out the door, okay? She said she got to take her ass back to work like Martha Stewart. She said Martha Stewart was sitting in a jail cell for many moons until she came out and had to get right back on her grind. She said, I got to do the same thing because I can't live that soft life anymore. And I'm trying to build a $1 billion lifestyle brand, all right? So while she's saying all that, Johnny informs her that Drew Sidora gave him a call and said that she wanted him to help her and Dennis with some music because she knows that he has music ties. Now, every time Drew's name is mentioned in front of Porsha, Porsha puts on this big ass smile like that's the slickest bitch she ever met outside of herself. And I'm not playing either. She's not even mad. She's just like, oh, Drew is really messing with me right now. Okay. So off camera, Porsha said, listen, or not off camera, but in her confessional, she said, Drew ain't doing what she's supposed to do as an ambassador of Go Naked Hair. She's dropped the ball on a whole lot of things. Let's start there. She said, I guess the production asked her if she planned on firing Drew. And she said, no, I don't plan on firing her. She said, I'm a whole business. This is a real business. We got lawyers. We got admin. What else did she say? She said they had lawyers, admin, and HR. Okay. She said we got lawyers, admin, and HR, and it wouldn't be proper to fire her, even though I want to. Okay. Now, while she was saying all that, the lawyers, the HR, the admin, production shady ass was putting a little sign under Porsha's head that said AKA Porsha, AKA Porsha, meaning there is no admin, there's no nothing. Okay. Johnny actually says, well, who are the people over there at Go Naked Corporate? And Porsha picked up her phone and said, oh, you ain't got my number? It's me, heifer. Okay. I hollered. That was a funny moment to me. Let's see. Drew is pulling a Porsha on Porsha. Drew is pulling a Porsha on Porsha. That's what I said. I said, this is probably the slickest person that Porsha has come in contact with since looking in the mirror earlier that day. Drew is very cunning. Drew is very cunning. I know a lot of people like Drew, but Drew is cunning, and we're going to get to that in just a second. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, Porsha's not going to fire her yet, I'm assuming, but I guess her finger is on that pink slip. Now we are with Drew and her estranged husband, Ralph. They're outside playing with the kids, okay? Looking like a whole happy family out there in the yard. Ralph, I don't know if y'all were paying attention, but both Ralph and Drew were flirting with each other with their eyes. Like, you could just tell they were giving each other a once over, up and down kind of thing. And I was like, what's going on here? This is what we're talking about, Drew. Just the other week, you were in the damn your lawyer's office talking about all the things this man tried to do to destroy you and how he's stolen your money and all kinds of stuff. And now you're sitting in the yard with this big ass smile on your face. I'm not going to be out there. Play with them kids. I'm going inside. You know what I'm saying? He's in the basement for a reason. But right now, these two are flirting with each other. I don't like it. Either way, in confessional, Drew says, we're better co-parents than we are as a couple, which again, for those of us who've been watching and keeping up with Drew and Ralph's history, Drew has always fought for this man to be more involved in these kids' lives. Now, all of a sudden, he's a great father. Not making sense. In Ralph's confessional, Ralph shows up in confessional wearing a blazer with a Cuban link chain around his neck and nothing else, okay? His shirt or his vest was open to this deep V and all you saw was chest. So much so that it was distracting. Also, he's in the basement and his basement does look like a luxury penthouse, but there's candles burning everywhere. This man looks like he's about to have sexy time with somebody, okay? It looks like it smells like some sort of patchouli incense. It was awful. But either way, he's in confessional and the producer actually says, where's your shirt? Where's your damn shirt? You sitting here talking about you want 50-50 with these damn kids. You knew this is a scene we were filming today. Where's your clothes? Are you outside? He ends up saying, all I care about is whether or not I'm going to get half the custody of my kids. No. And then let me also say that his lips were greasy. His lips were greasy and he kept giving these bedroom eyes talking about, I just want time with my kids. The whole thing was very, very nasty. I wanted to take a shower after I watched that shit. Okay. He was dressed like Martell. Either way, when you talk to me about wanting 50-50 with your kids, don't show up in a blazer with no shirt underneath. This needs to be professional. You need to be showing up like this is business. Okay. But anyway, that's what he was doing in the confessional, and the producer clocked it, checked it right there. Okay. The producer also checks Drew Sidora. So Drew's out there talking to her estranged husband, talking about how they're really working on things. And this is a side of him that she likes. She also said, maybe you and I can make a custody agreement. Maybe you and I can make a custody agreement instead of the judge, because the judge doesn't really know what our needs are. Drew, this is a man who was getting up and just going out of town and didn't even tell you where he was. Like, you would have had to identify that man by his teeth if something happened to him, because he didn't even tell you where he was. This is crazy. Okay. Anyway, after she's doing all this, he's looking at her and she's like, you are a little bit of a narcissist. And he was like, basically saying, you don't even know what a narcissist is. So he goes, Drew, I'm not going to get into that with you, but I'll tell you what, I apologize if that was your experience with me. Okay. And she was like, well, are you saying you're not? And he just shrugged his shoulders. He said, listen, narcissists don't apologize. Now, after he goes through all of this, I was like, he's really done with Drew. He don't even care. He might throw her some peen, you know what I'm saying? But that's it. He don't like that woman. He don't like her at all, okay? Drew is sitting here trying to make it seem like we're really good at co-parenting and all this shit. And this man ends up basically knocking her down with every one of her lies. Number one, he said, we're good right now, but that wasn't what happened last week. Like, we were just into it. Okay. That's the first thing. So go ahead and let them coats decide a good custody schedule for us, because I'm not effing with you for anything. That's number one. Number two, okay, she was like, well, I know you like the basement. He's like, I do. I love the basement. Okay. That's my little penthouse. You don't come down there. I get to do what I want. And then to prove that he gets to do what he wants, dude said, well, it's your week. It's your weekend with the kids. I gotta go. Okay. And he took his duffel bag, his overnight bag, and headed to the car right in front of her eyes to let her know he doesn't fool with Drew. He don't like her. Okay. Drew goes to the dictionary. Yes, Drew in confessional. The producer actually asked her, do you know what narcissists mean? And she goes, and had to pull up her phone. And they really was like, you don't even know what it means. Didn't she have this scene already? Wasn't there another person she did this with? Anyway, Drew is a hot ass mess. But I like her on the show. She's very, very cunning. She gives, okay? So I appreciated it. Anyway, next scene is Kenya and Kelly. Have y'all noticed that Kenya has a more reserved tone to this season? She's not doing what she normally does. And look, next week is going to be her last time on the show, it looks like. But she's not doing what she normally does. She's very relaxed, very relaxed. Anyway, she has invited Kelly to the salon so that they can get to know each other a little bit. And in confessional, Kelly's like, listen, I really like Kenya. Like, she's an excellent businesswoman. She's smart. She's this, she's that. I don't have any of the experiences that Brit is having. In fact, I don't even know who this person that Brit talks about when she speaks on Kenya. Okay. But they end up sitting down and having a heart-to-heart. And this is where we get to know a little bit more about Kelly. Kelly shares that she has a whole restraining order on her estranged husband because he threatened to unalive her, right? And it sounds like it might have happened in the courtroom, but the judge gave her a restraining order. And at the moment, this man isn't even allowed to visit his kids. So this is how bad things are between them. Now, she had previously told us that he sold her first restaurant location. I think she said it was in Conyers or something like that. That was her flagship location. Her husband sold it. She's trying to get another location up while she's on this show. She wants it to hit. She wants the promotion and all that stuff. But the husband is fit to be tied. He already stole $500,000. And from what she's saying, those restaurants came while they were in the marriage. She said that she's been married for 11 years and that the business had been established for 8 years. So even though she got the cookbook and all the other stuff, the husband is saying, listen, that's my money you bought that shit with, okay? And I'm not letting you have any of it. I'll burn it to the ground before I let you have anything that you got from me. And a lot of people think like that, okay? I met you at Burger King, going back to Burger King. I don't care how many years we stay together. And there's a lot of women who actually support that line of thinking too. It does not matter that they have kids or anything else. It's not your money. So go get a real job or whatever those things are and support it. You won't hear that shit on my channel though. If you marry somebody that you're not equally yoked with financially, tough shit. You found them. You decided you fell in love with them. You decided to make kids with them. It is what it is. You pay, okay? Or you get those prenups in order. That's what I say. And even if you get the prenup in order, if you sign it, if your lawyer said, listen, this prenup is some bullshit, under no circumstances should you sign it, and you sign it anyway, tough. You get what you get. And if your lawyer said this is a good deal and you signed it, you get what you get. That's how it works. Okay. Again, this only seems to be a question when it's with Black women. Everybody else this is how it goes. We need to start thinking about this. But anyway, Kelly says at the end of the day, he said, I don't want you to have a thing. I don't care what goes down next, but you're not getting anything that my money bought. Okay. And so she is letting Kenya know what happened. Kenya says, well, it looks like he's trying to color purple you until you do right by me. Ain't nothing in your life gonna go right. And Kelly said, well, I waited to exhale him. He's gone. I don't give two shits. Now that's how you end a relationship, okay? Come on in. Hey, uppity. What you say? I lost my last fiance once you mentioned a prenup. Oh, I'm sorry, Fifi. But you know what? It's good that you learned then than later, right? Listen, even when we try to follow the rules, though, we're not always supported by people who look like us. That's the problem. But I think that if those tables turn, they'll figure it out. But anyway, next scene, we have Brit. Oh, no, my bad. I forgot to tell you. So Kenya also gets vulnerable after Kelly tells her what was going on with her. Kenya gets a little vulnerable and she says, listen, this salon that I built, I dumped 400,000 into it. Really, I spent my baby girl's college money. Like, I am like praying to God that this hits. But I need to learn from you because right now I don't have any customers. So there's been a lot of talk on the internet about Kenya and her business not doing that great, right? That she can't get customers, and it always look like it's empty in there. Some days it's closed. They don't believe that there's a staff. That may be true. She might not have recovered from some of this stuff because right now in the scene, she's letting everybody know that she's not doing well. She hasn't been able to get customers and things like that, which is weird, right? But Brit tells her, just stay encouraged. It's going to happen for you. You're doing what you want to do. Just trust the process, right? It always feels this way up front. This is what Kelly's telling her. Excuse me if I said the other name. But it was really sweet. And it gave us some more information on both of the ladies, right? All right, next up, we got Brit. Brit, I think, might be the one that everybody has a problem with. I don't think that Brit probably knew how harsh she comes across until she probably watched this show back. Sometimes it is an eye-opener for people to see how they're received or perceived by people. And then also how your mind works, because Brit's mind works a lot differently than the rest of the women that's in this group. But she ends up meeting with her sister. This is someone, she had already said that she doesn't have a tight relationship with her sisters, not as tight as it used to be. But she is sitting down with one of the sisters that had no problem saying, listen, y'all F with me, I'ma block you. I don't care who you are, including mama. I will block her too. Right now, everybody's on block. And her sister tells Brit about herself. She said, listen, you and I used to be close, but now every time I call you and I'm trying to talk to you about something sensitive to me, why is Mike always in the picture? Okay. Brit is way too beautiful to be jumpy and insecure. Facts. Facts. But she said, why is this man always in the picture? I would appreciate being able to talk to my sister like we used to do. And she's like just giving it to her straight. Brit, on the other hand, is like, well, Mike loves you and I know you love him. In her confessional, she makes it seem like her sister might be a little jealous that she's in a relationship. And she was like, but he always gives good advice and all kinds of stuff. And then again, she doubles down on the fact that she does not have friends. Brit says, I don't have girlfriends. I don't have female friends. It's just my sisters, my family, and that's pretty much it, other than Mike. So we get insight that Mike is really her everything. She doesn't have any moments outside of Mike and her immediate family until the immediate family falls out with her because she doesn't know how to separate them from, her fiance. She got some problems. Okay. Brit, if you're watching, my apologies, child. I'm just telling you what I saw on the screen. Take it up with Bravo Production, because this is what they are making it out. They're making this out like you cannot handle any type of female friendships or relationships unless that man is by your side. And you're going to show us even more of that when you pull a Kim and Croy at the end of the scene. Anyway, she says all of that. They try to, come to a meeting of the minds. Brit said, listen, next time you want to have a meeting with me without Mike, just send me a text. Let me know up front. Don't wait till birthdays or holidays to say hi to me. And I was like, well, you shouldn't wait to birthday or holiday to say hi to her either. And you could also just reach out to your sister and say, hey, girl, want to go to lunch? Just you and I. She didn't put any other responsibility on her. I didn't like that part. But it is what it is. Okay, next thing we got Drew. Drew meets up with the infamous Dennis McKinley, the one that Porsha said, don't your ass show up on screen with her or it's going to be a problem. Just told Dennis that last episode, and here Dennis is in this scene with Drew Sidora by himself, child. And this was funny because Drew let Dennis know this was a weird conversation to have, but she's having a conversation with Dennis like, listen, things are really odd and weird with me and the girls because of you. And I was like, that's not what you should say. Okay, but she's saying this like he's supposed to console her or make her feel a certain way. It was a weird conversation to have. Dennis says, really? Are you really having problems like that? Yes. Didn't Porsha put your ass in the car and tell you don't do it? Didn't she say that to you just last week, Dennis? But he pretends like he doesn't know what's going on, which was hilarious. Anyway, Drew says, I've attempted to call Porsha a couple of times. We saw the reach out. She said, Portia's not trying to fool with me right now. So I'm going to let Porsha just do Porsha. But is there any way you could smooth things over? Can you help smooth the bridge between me and Porsha? This is what she asked Dennis. And Dennis said, no. He said, no, I can't do that. He said, no, I can't do that. He said, listen, I don't know what this is, but when Porsha was traveling all over eating foo-foo, he said, she wasn't thinking about me. I didn't need her permission to work with you. So this shit right here is something the two of y'all got to deal with. I'm here to do the music. So get in the booth, okay, and start the singing. Outside of that, I don't give two shits about your relationship with Porsha. And I was like, that was a smart move. That was a smart move on Dennis's part. The last thing he wanted to do after that conversation Porsha had is come to her with is it possible for you to treat Drew a certain way? No, there's no possibility. And he knew it. I like that Dennis knows his boundaries. Okay. I'm here doing this scene with you right now. And that's it. I will never talk to Porsha for you about you. Okay. Dennis might be trying to smash who? Smash who? Drew Sidora, we know that already. There's no way Drew would have let the words, my angel on earth, escape her lips unless she was feeling a way about that man. There's certain things that you just know not to do. There's certain things you should just never do. Okay. My sister's been married for many, many decades. Okay. I have never called her husband my angel on earth. I don't even know. Those things don't come out your mouth unless you are trying to play a game in front of the cameras. That's one possibility. Or he made them loins hot and she is speaking from deep down in her soul, okay, instead of up here. Sometimes you make them errors, and that is what is going on. That's why Porsha starts laughing every time she sees it, because she knows what it is. She used to do that, period. That is what it is, okay? So anyway, moving on. Drew was in there singing a song. The song sounds good, by the way. It sounds good. Anyway, now we are with Angela. Angela, she is at a place called The Bank, which is in Bankhead, okay? Bankhead is an area that I think the rappers talk about in their little songs. You know, got some crazy stuff might be happening over there every once in a while. Y'all know I'm right, okay? You just don't fix your mouth to say certain things ever. But anyway, she's sitting here saying, listen, I know people are talking about how this isn't a bad neighborhood, but I absolutely love it. Okay. And she has a full spread. It looks amazing. Okay. She's got chefs in there and she's having a dinner for the girls, just a little get together. Now, Brit, first of all, the production is showing everybody getting ready and coming in. They show Brit, and Brit says, well, this is a bad neighborhood. This is a bad neighborhood. And I'm going to make sure my security, my husband, stays out in the parking lot the whole time. What? Y'all know Kim and Croy used to do that shit all the time. Kim used to do that all the time. Is it safe to be here? Oh my God. I got Croy outside. Remember that? She's doing the same exact thing. But I want to say, if your husband's outside in the Rolls Royce and it's a bad neighborhood, couldn't something happen to him while he's outside waiting on you? He's not on the inside. Okay. But anyway, she says that. There's another scene where Porsha's getting ready and Porsha is talking to Shamia and she lets her know, look, I know that Drew wants to talk to me. However, it's not going to happen here. She also said, I already know what Drew is about, so there's no damn reason at all for us to talk about it or for me to rush it at the very minimum, okay? After she has that conversation, Shamia starts talking a little bit about her relationship with Angela, and Porsha blew her off like, well, girl, just look cute. Who gives a shit about Angela? You know what I'm saying? Porsha, you are not coming across good this season, girl. Anyway, now everybody is there. They are arriving one by one. Everybody is dressed in black, very chic, beautiful. I mean, from head to toe, beautiful black women in the place. Do you hear me? We need to literally drink these moments in because we don't always see ourselves in this light. You know what I'm saying? On TV. So I loved it. It's moments like this, child, that this is the reason why I love RHOA. But they all come in, sit down, and Kenya bucks the dress code. Kenya comes in a Versace turquoise number, and everybody's like, bitch, what are you wearing? Okay, I think not Kenya, I think it was Porsha. Porsha was like, child, what you got on? And she said, Versace, baby, don't get it twisted. Okay, y'all dressed in black. I will dress the way I want. Now, the camera pans Brit, and Brit is pissed. She's looking at her like, I mean, she's really upset. And I was like, you don't even know how Kenya gets under your skin, girl, just from being there. You are insecure. Kenya literally has that girl in a chokehold. Okay? Anyway, Kenya goes through, says hello to everybody. She goes over to Drew Sidora. She air kisses Drew Sidora. Let's be clear. Never touch. Mwah, mwah, like that, okay? Goes around to where Brit is, does a hug, but pats her on the back, making sure that makeup does not touch her or Kenya, right? Sits down and bam, before she could even sit her ass in the seat. I peep what you did, Kenya. You didn't give me a real hug. Kenya's like, a real hug? Bitch, have you never been to finishing school? We are both dressed to the nines. I don't want your makeup on my fucking clothes. But she doesn't even say it that way. She's just like, I did hug you and I don't, I was trying not to get makeup on you or you get makeup on me. She went, I peeped it. I peeped it. This is Brit. I peeped you. I saw what you did. Everyone is sitting there like, is this real? Like, because you can tell something's wrong, but you are like, she can't be this slow, right? This is really what you want to say. What's going on? You got way too much money. You look too good. You dress well. You have all of these connections with people, and you are literally spazzing out over Kenya. Why? What is going on? Anyway, Shamia comes through the door with a bottle of olive oil, okay, with a branch inside. It is a cute little gift and gesture to Angela Oakley. And she's letting her know, child, I'm hoping that tonight we can, I'm going to extend this olive branch. Thank you for inviting me. And Angela is really receptive. Oh, wow. Takes the bottle. This is the same olive oil my husband cooks with. So already, you know what I'm saying? Shamia done scored 100 points because she's going to take this home to Charles. She gets to take the olive oil home to Charles. Like, listen, she was thoughtful to me. I'm going to be thoughtful to you. Child, anyway, in confessional, Shamia was like, well, gifts are my love language, so I'm really happy that she took the olive oil. She said, because if she would have gave some shit to me, then she pretends to hawk a loogie. I would have been like, okay, and spits. I was like, baby, Shamia, again, once this lady sees this playback, she is going to feel away, okay? Because I would have ran downstairs. If I would have watched that shit and if that olive oil was still there, it would have went in the trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even accept a gift good from Shamia because she done already sprinkled a little mojo on it. It's just bad luck. Listen, I love me Shamia and Angela bonding. They weren't bonding. Angela was bonding because she thought that Shamia was genuine. Shamia is being cutesy and saying, listen, this little $100 bottle of olive oil, who gives a fuck? Okay? There's more where that came from. You know what I'm saying? She said, I'm going to give you the gift, but I'm going to still get these jokes off because you and me ain't ever going to be friends. And that's a fact. Anyway, now we have Drew, okay? Because Kelly blasts the hell out of Drew. She thanks everyone for coming to her charity event and, you know, donating by buying a bag or clothing or whatever the case may be. It's called Class with an Attitude. Baby, that's not class. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all kill me. I love it, though. Keep the comments coming. When people play with your feelings like that behind your back, you are ready to fight. Most people are. Most, okay? There's no way you're going to be okay with that shit. Shamia is shady as I don't give a, okay? She don't care. She's shady. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I like it. It's good TV. She knows what she's giving to the show. But I found it hilarious that Angela was so excited, okay? But anyway, Drew is getting punked by Kelly now because Kelly thanks everybody for coming to her charity event and giving. She was like, almost everybody gave. And I don't know who asked the question. Maybe it was Kenya. She said, well, was there somebody that didn't give? Okay, she went, well, actually, without a hesitation, yeah, Drew Sidora, that heifer didn't give shit. And she told me she was bringing a +1. I thought it was her sister. Here comes your makeup artist in tow, drinking my good champagne, eating my good hors d'oeuvres, heifer, and you couldn't buy anything? So she's literally dragging Drew. And everybody is like, good old Drew Sidora, you can always count on her to F something up. She is being laughed at. Drew gets just a little tinge of embarrassment, you can tell. She was like, me? No, look, check I sent a text to the sales lady about the size of a suit jacket for my son. That jacket costs $2,000. Anyway, in confessional, Kelly said, don't be sending me no damn text. What's the text going to show me? Give me the actual transaction receipt that shows you purchased it. Otherwise, it didn't happen, heifer. And I know it didn't happen. Long story short, Drew sits there. She got egg on her face. And then Kelly, to just drive it on home, she said, now, I really ain't interested in this text, but there is a text from Dennis McKinley. Everybody's like, oh... Everybody at the table is like, oh no, like they're all cracking up at Drew's expense right now. Porsha got this big ass smile on her face, just like I told y'all, where she's like, I know this bitch. I know who she is from beginning to end, okay? Anyway, that was great. I loved it. She's still sitting there like, what's going on? She picked up her champagne, continued to drink. But that was the first time in a long time that I've seen Drew embarrassed. She wasn't expecting Kelly to do that to her. But now she'll be on her toes for the next time, okay? Anyway, moving through, we got Kenya. She invites everybody at the table to the grand opening of her salon, which I believe is a relaunch, because I thought we already got a grand opening for that salon. But anyway, Shamia ends up playing her new single for the group. Excuse me. She plays her new single for the group, and everybody is bobbing, and like, I mean, even Angela, who Shamia is still playing, she's like, oh my God, Shamia, this song is dope. This is the hit. Like, she's going hard for Shamia. But you want to know who ain't? Porsha. Porsha ain't going hard at all. Porsha's sitting there with this confused look on her face, and she goes, where's your part? That's Drew Sidora. That's not your song. Everybody is like, Porsha, Lord. Shamia gets this look where her head just drops. And she said, Porsha, come on. Like, what are you doing? I am trying to promote my song on TV in front of millions. What are you doing to me? Porsha said, well, where's your part at? Because it sounds like Drew Sidora. Where's your part? Because this entire song sounds like Drew Sidora. Porsha don't even like Drew Sidora. So why is she talking about her, trying to give her a compliment when her best friend is sitting right there? That doesn't sound like your voice. Everybody is like, Porsha, tuck in your jealousy, sweetie. Tuck it in. It is all over your face that you can't even say your friend, your best friend has a hit song, right? So everybody's mad. Drew Sidora's like, Porsha's hilarious. She knows that's Shamia's song. Shamia's like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on with Porsha. Porsha said in her confessional, more shade. Well, the reason why I said I thought it was Drew Sidora is because the song sound good. The song sound good. So I automatically assumed it was Drew Sidora, as if it was bad, it would have been more believable that it was Shamia. Bravo, Porsha. Bravo, Porsha. Oh my God. They are throwing daggers at this point. I'm not sure who is friends with who, okay? Porsha and Shamia definitely don't F with each other after that moment. But anyway, after they go through all of their little shade, now the girls decide to play a game. They ordered their food, they're eating, they're drinking, they're feeling good, okay? And they start asking each other questions. I guess they wrote these questions out before they had dinner, and now they all pull a question and they read it for whoever it's meant for, and the person has to answer, okay? So the first question is Angela Oakley, and we already know this was Angela's real question. She's the one who wrote it, because she already went home and said, I would love for my husband to do some shit like that for me, okay? Hey, everybody, thank y'all for coming in. Make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? So Shamia, Angela asked Shamia, what did you do to thank your husband for the Rolls Royce? And Shamia said, I can show you better than I can tell you, okay? So she sits up there with her hand cupped, okay, and making a little motion, and her mouth was open, you know what I'm saying? And then she got up and started shaking her ass and all kinds of stuff, and everybody thought it was cute and funny, and they moved on to the next question, okay? The next question, I don't know if this was Porsha who asked. I think it was Porsha. She asked Angela to tell a secret that she doesn't want her husband to know, okay? And Angela says, I'm pretty much an open book, so I don't even know how to answer that question. And she was like, well, Porsha says, I know some things about your husband. She kind of says it under her breath, but she definitely wants Angela to hear it, okay? And Angela's like, well, what do you know about my husband? She's being cute and funny. What do you know about my husband? Share, talk to me. What did you know? What do you know? And Porsha says, next question, like bitch, I said what I said. Don't make me play my hand. So Porsha's definitely playing chess, not checkers. She wants Angela to know, Don't move too hard on me because I might share some shit. Okay. But Angela gets in her confessional and she feels away. And she said, listen, Porsha ain't saying shit about what's going on with her and Simon, but she wants to speak about what she thinks she know about my husband. And then under her breath, only it was very audible because we all heard it. She said, you stupid bitch. Moving on. That was horrible. That was horrible, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So it lets us know she definitely struck a nerve. She had a smile on her face, but when she called her a super bitch, she meant every syllable, every single syllable. Okay. After that, somebody asked Kenya what color panties she had on. Kenya said, I can show you better than I can tell you. She ends up pulling up her damn dress and showing everybody the front of her. Okay. And people was like, you got the biggest coochie I've ever seen. I thought that it was going to reach over and grab my fucking dinner fork. What is happening? What do you got going on with it? But it was funny. Kenya takes it in stride. Everybody's taking the jokes at the table in stride until, okay, well, next we get Drew Sador. This is also in stride. Kenya's doing good. First question was about her undies. She showed it. Cool. Next time we got Drew Sador saying, listen, the question is, why are you so worried about married women? Also written by Brit. We know this. And Kenya says, I don't know. It's a habit. It's a habit, right? Then she says, no, that's not true. Just kidding. Just kidding. But she laughs it off. She's not even serious. Because at that point, you would be like, well, whose marriage am I worried about? But it doesn't matter. She says that it moves on, right? Anyway, that's when we get Brit. Brit was like, okay, I got my first question off. Second question, Kenya said, listen, I've got 3 in a row. I answered the first 2. You should take that question to somebody else. And Brit said, no, wait a minute now. This is important. She said, is there a reason why you can't speak to Brit in a kind tone? And Porsha and Kenya is sitting there and she is so measured. You can see her thinking in her head, like, am I being played by producers? Is this actually coming from her? She's trying to figure it out. Kenya's very smart. She's very smart. Okay. So she's not just popping off as a reaction. She's like, huh. And she said, no, I can talk to anybody at this table in a kind tone. Have done it. So I'm not sure what this is about. And she goes, no, baby. Can you answer the question? Can you talk to Brit in a kind tone? That's the question. And Porsha, Kenya says, you're just looking for a moment. Because now she realized, I don't give a shit if it is from production. What is this? Why are you coming for me? What is the problem? Literally, Brit is just antagonizing the hell out of Kenya at this point, saying, no, baby. Yeah, honey, no. Well, answer the question, honey. And she was like, no, I'm not answering the question. Furthermore, okay, you're a peasant. You're a whole peasant trying to talk to the queen. At this point, you can talk to a wall because that's how I'm going to treat you. And from that moment, Kenya literally just shuts down and ignores that lady. And she was sitting right beside her. Kenya stands up, grabs her to-go box or whatever the hell she had in her hand, and she starts walking out toward the elevator or toward the door. I think it's toward the door. Brit loses her fucking mind. She came out of a bag like nobody's business. Wait a minute, bitch. I don't know who you think you're talking to, bitch. Like she was just going and going. Kenya turned everything she had in them ears off. She started walking out. The other girl started walking out behind her. Bye, Kenya. Everybody's hugging. Brit is so embarrassed that she turns it up even more because she knows no one's paying attention to her. All of the girls have their moment in confessional where they're like, listen, this heifer's losing her mind. Why is she taking it here? She needs to stop right now before it goes too far. Like everybody's saying there was no reason for Brit to escalate that conversation the way she did. And she never stops. She is in the lobby area now and she is screaming at the top of her lungs, bitch, ditzy bitch, let me call my husband, somebody who actually cares about me. I have pistols and whips. You ain't gonna disrespect me. You gonna respect me. If you didn't know, you gonna learn today. You gonna learn. Like she is losing her mind, and nobody knows why. Nobody in the room knows why. No one on production knows why. They just let her go. Kenya gets outside the door. I think she might have been waiting on an Uber. Porsha pulls up along Kenya and said, girl, you want me to take you home? She said, yeah, child. I'm going to get in the back. You can, pretend like you driving Miss Daisy for real, for real. They get into the car and they start laughing. They know they're on a hot mic, but they're laughing. Porsha ends up telling Kenya, did you hear that girl threatening to pow you and the whips and and she had, hell no, which I know she heard it. We all heard it, girl, but maybe not, because you know what? When I was watching Watch What Happens Live, Kelly actually said that she had no idea. Kelly said she had no idea all the things that Brit was saying until she watched the episode. She said, there was so much going on. I did not know she was threatening her. And if y'all forgot, Kelly actually was supporting Brit, basically saying that that Kenya was the problem. So when it all went down on the internet, when we got the news, she was the one who was sending messages to her. She showed that they were on vacation or something together. So it was pretty interesting that she changed it up. She said, no, I had no idea all of that was being said. And she was standing there. So it's possible maybe that she didn't hear it. Anyway, that's pretty much it, y'all. That was the scene. That's how it ends. Kenya drives off. You could see Brit's husband trying to calm her down, but she couldn't. But I literally, after I watched that episode or that end of the scene, I said, you started the scene off saying that you don't have female friends. Female friends. You don't have female friends is what you said. And that people either love you or hate you. And this entire time you have been building up this thing, this war in your head to fight Kenya, because Kenya didn't even give you nothing. Anybody who watches Kenya knows what Kenya is capable of. You was getting the best of Kenya, okay? She was giving you the best that she got, okay? Yes, everybody told her she was doing too much. Everybody. It was wild. But anyway, after all that went down, y'all, I had to go back and look at some things too, because I was like, baby girl, didn't you say you never threatened her with the pow and all that stuff because you were trying to get the audience on your side? I remember her saying that the night it happened. It was released that Kenya had put that revenge pee out there. She said, I never did that. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't even talk like that. I don't talk like that. I would never say anything. I don't even own a pow. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Okay. It's never a good feeling being targeted or hazed by someone I thought would embrace me into this new circle that I've never met before. For the record, I've never once had possession of any weapon or threatened anyone ever. I've never even been to jail or in a fight. I've never had so much as a speeding ticket. That's not my character. Y'all remember that? Now those words are coming back to bite her. She said she does not like the narrative that's being displayed about her, and wrong is wrong. That was a lot, Brit. I'm going to say, for me, because I know a lot of people are saying, listen, at the end of the day, Kenya did something that still deserved a repercussion. And I will say you are right. I'm not even going to deny that. But I will say that Kenya was not lying about that girl threatening her. And we, excuse me, we all heard it. And kudos to production for even keeping it in the scene. Because if y'all remember, there were members of production who actually said that didn't happen. So I do believe that there was so much commotion going on. There probably was people who just didn't hear it. And then when they went back and they were like, oh shit, it is a part of the audio, right? So I do believe that for sure. But I also think for Kenya, because people are saying that Kenya's playing too much on it, I don't think she is. I think that Kenya feels like, I don't know this lady. I don't know her from Adam. So all of that aggression that she was getting over nothing from the time they met, I think that Kenya had a right to be afraid. I really do, and still do. But Kenya is taking her glory walk, because she said, at this point, I'm vindicated. Did I retaliate? Yes, she did. But she said she is vindicated because everything that she said Brit did to her, Brit did to her. And that is not a lie. Okay? So she ended up saying this. She was tweeting last night. She said, being the longest standing RHOA member threatened with whips and pow-pows by a newcomer 3 weeks into filming. Seeing this obsession play out is scary. I agree. I think it was scary. It was scary to watch it. I wanted protection and assurances that the threats would be taken seriously. I may be strong, but I'm not bulletproof. So a lot of people are saying, why didn't she talk to production about it? They did talk to production about it. That's why production came out and said there was no pow-pows. Production, that was an actual message from someone who said, I am on production. So there was an investigation that went on for a little bit. We thought Kenya quit. A lot of us believe, or excuse me, that Kenya was fired. Kenya said on the Tamron Hall show that she quit. Okay, so just depends on who you believe. Andy Cohen was very, very sad about it, though. So I think he's going to try to make room for her to come back. I'm showing y'all some more text messages. Candace from RHOP got into the group chat and she said something very poignant. She said, they always want to try to humble you when you're smarter than them, and they're only show ponies. Kenya deserves better, and that's all I'm going to say about it. That's on point. For all of the I'm beautiful that old girl was giving us and how smart she is and all that stuff, she really played herself with that scene. Someone else said, are you going to tell your side? We need to know, because Bravo is going to slice and dice what really happened. So we know that Kenya's going to come out and give us a little more background to the story. Another person said, Kenya, we are dying to know exactly what happened. We don't have any context. Kenya responded, babe, there is no context missing, no interaction, no prior meetings, no gossip, nothing. So this lady literally popped out of a bag. That's how it looked to me anyway, because we only saw that one interaction. Someone else said, when at Peach Report teased that one housewife was asking all the questions after Kenya's event, I assumed it was Drew. The whole time, it looks like it was Angela Oakley. And Kenya said that Angela is amazing. She likes Angela. Y'all. Kenya said, it's so painful to see my storyline being told by someone else. With that said, I appreciate Kelly being so kind and supportive to me. Notice she's not saying anything about Porsha. Porsha and Kenya are on the outs right now, and it looks like it's because Porsha seems to be cool with Brit, and Kenya called Porsha a traitor after that. Okay, so yeah, I may be a lot of things, but I'm not bulletproof. Praying that the world will see what provoked me to take action. So I don't know. I'm going to ask y'all in the chat, though. Do y'all think that Kenya was matching Brit's crazy when she put that revenge pee out there? Put it in the chat. That's the episode for next week. So if you believe that she was matching it, put a 1 in the chat. If you believe that Kenya still took it too far, put a 3 in the chat. The pictures are online. She didn't have to find them. She didn't sneak into a window and take a picture of her. She pulled them off of online from somewhere, and then she basically posted them. So they were public in a way, right? Yes, 1-1. Okay. So it looks like more people are on Kenya's side right now than Brit. Okay. I wanted to know how y'all felt about it, if you were on Kenya's side or not. Ooh, a lot of people are on Kenya's side. So y'all, that's how it ended. So listen, I liked the show. I thought it was excellent. I love to see it. That scene at the end where it was like, The Godfather, they're all sitting and having dinner. I loved it. I would really like to hear from Brit more than Kenya, because for most of us as RHOA fans, we know Kenya. We know what she's capable of, all the things, right? We don't know Brit though. And like I said, I don't know her, but what production basically showed on that screen, child, is that you had some kind of hard on from the giddy up with Kenya, simply because she asked if you were engaged or if you had divorce. And for some reason, you thought that was an attack against you. It shows that you are insecure, not only with Kenya and what she got going on physically, body, yada, yada, but you're also insecure with your relationship with Mike. Because who gives a damn? Who cares if she asked that question? If it wasn't even like a horrible statement, child. It was just something people say. And you started it. You started it, taking inventory of everybody that was divorced for some reason. You aren't secure with that relationship, which is why you are begging for the baby and the house and the wedding ceremony and all of that shit all at one time. Get Brit off my TV, girl. Anyway, Brit, looking forward to hearing what you got to say. I feel like during that little time, Porsha was definitely coaching Brit, trying to tell her how to handle social media. Get off social media. Don't do any of the things. Wait for the next episode before you talk. Porsha's very smart. Y'all know that as well. She is reality TV brilliant. You said I would have done the same thing if I was going out with a bang. Well, I don't think that Kenya expected to go off the air. I don't think she expected that. But I agree with Candy and everybody else, because when you're watching reality TV and these kind of moments happen, we know that production had to have greenlit something, right? Like, she didn't take those poster boards in there without y'all knowing about them. Anyway, that's the show, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I see a lot of people say they are Team Twirl in the chat. Team Twirl. There's a lot of people that are Team Twirl. I asked y'all last night who y'all thought was right or wrong. 90% of you said that you side with Kenya Moore. 90% of you. And I told y'all before, Kenya Moore wasn't always my favorite, but when I went back and watched it from season 1, I said Kenya Moore was the show. It was Kenya and Nene's baby, okay? I give a lot to Nene, but damn it, if Kenya Moore did not bring everything home, and she's been doing it this season too. Kenya Moore has been, when people try to skirt around things, she's the one who's like, no, we're not drinking champagne. Where's Dennis? Like, let's talk. She's been amazing. And I'm kind of afraid of what's going to happen when we no longer have Kenya on for the season. Thank you, Chronic. I appreciate you. Okay. That's pretty much it, y'all. Y'all already know what to do. Make sure everybody hits my like button on the way out. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know how y'all felt about the episode if you're just coming through. Follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. And thank you to all of my moderators who showed up today. All right. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye-bye.